How much stuff does a guy actually need for a spring backcountry bear hunt? Not all of this, technically speaking. I mean, really, if you want to get down to it, you need a weapon and a tag and some game bags and a knife and maybe some food. But nobody wants to live like that. So if you're going to be back there for, let's say, 4 days, 3 nights, as is my plan next week, here's what you need. What's up guys, it's Eric from Late to the Game Outdoors, and this is basically just a gear dump for my backcountry spring bear hunt. Everything that I am taking with me for 4 days and 3 nights. Let's just start with camp, the foundation of it all. We have my new favorite shelter in all of history, the Nemo Tracker 2-person. I love this thing. My buddy Josh, who's going with me, has the 1-person version. He loves that thing. It's a terrific tent. The 2-person here weighs in like right at 3 pounds. It's amazing. I love it. All right, underneath that, or nope, within that, I have the Nemo Tensor insulated tall, wide sleeping pad. If you are a tall, wide person, I am 6'1", have some fairly wide shoulders. I spent a season or 2 on the not tall, wide version of a pad, and it was the worst. The worst! Some part of me was always falling off of that thing. So just get the tall, wide, couple extra ounces, few extra dollars. So much better. To keep me warm on top of that thing, I have the Kelty Cosmic Down 20-degree mummy bag. This is also the long version. So warm, so light, so soft, so beautiful. The baffles inside of this thing are the greatest invention in history. I never had a bag with that sort of thing and didn't realize how many drafts I was dealing with all night long until I got one that has it and locks them out, and it's amazing. I am not a big fan of creature comforts in the backcountry, but one little thing I will bring when I have space is this little Slumberjack camping pillow that I have had since Boy Scouts. It stuffs down, takes up virtually no room, but I am a side sleeper and hate when my neck is like, you know, all night long. So I take my puffy, that we'll get to in a second, stuffed up in its pocket just like it is, and it needs just a little more of a boost to be comfortable. So throw this thing under it. It's the perfect height. I love it. Okay, moving on, we have jetboil. This is the little guy, the like slightly smaller version. It has never failed me, never been not enough water, coffee, dinner. It's the best. Everything just packs down in here. The fuel, it's all right here, plus my big tall spoon that you definitely need so you don't have lasagna knuckles at the end of the night. If you've never heard of lasagna knuckles, you've never tried to eat a dehydrated meal with a small spoon or a stick, just get a long spoon. Anyway, dinners, 3 different types of peak refuel. I'm not gonna say it's a no fart dinner, but it is absolutely a less fart than a mountain house. I have chased myself out of a sleeping bag before with mountain houses and what they do to my digestive system. So I'm a big fan of these suckers. Then of course, my 4 bags of day food, just stoveless, other than some instant coffee that's in here. Man, I usually shoot for about 3,000 calories a day in the backcountry between dinner and this stuff. Some of it's clean, some of it is just good stuff that I want to eat. There are Pop-Tarts in here. There are honey roasted peanuts. There are Sour Patch Kids. Listen, I've taken days of bags that are full of nothing but clean, plant-based, blah, 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 blah. And by like day 3, I have half a bag of uneaten food at the end of the day because I just can't bring myself to eat one more chalky plant-based bar. So yes, be healthy, like pay attention to it. But at the end of the day, just put some stuff in here that you're going to want to eat. Like Nutter Butters. I forgot I had Nutter Butters in here. I am so excited about those, and they are not clean. Anyway, all the food, dry bag, and this little gizmo, it's just a carabiner with a bunch of paracord wrapped around it. Stuff all the food, other than my day's worth of food in this. Throw this up and over a tree, hang it up, because we are going bear hunting. We're in bear country. Might as well keep the food out of your tent. I need to make some space. That's better. Okay, speaking of food, Sawyer squeeze filter. Here's the deal. I I already dropped water where we plan to camp. I have 4 gallons waiting for me, tucked up under a bush, because there's a stream on the way in, and by stream, this is Arizona, I mean like a tiny little trickle of water, and there's definitely some water down at the very bottom of the canyons, but I don't want to go there. But on the off chance that something happens and we need water, or we're down in the bottom of a canyon digging a bear out of there, and like we've run out of water, this thing is so light, so small, little dirty bag, little squeeze filter, it is cheap insurance to have with you. Let's go clothing. What will be on me is not here because it will be on me. First light guy, I have other videos about my first light layering setup, but I'll hike in the corrugate guide pants and the Wick hoodie, be rocking their Mercury lightweight socks, and my crispy Colorados, my new favorite boots of all time. Obviously outfitted with lock laces, my new favorite laces of all time. Anyway, the layers in my pack for when things get cold, which according to the weather, it's not going to get too terribly cold. Extra pair of socks. Obviously, you don't want funky, nasty, fungus-covered feet. I also have a pair of the Zero cold weather sock, which doesn't fit as well as these are a nice like tight compression style fit. They don't go anywhere inside your boot. These get a little sloshy, they're a little looser, but they are my favorite thing in the world to come back to camp with hot, sweaty, nasty feet as the weather's cooling down and swap into a dry pair of these nice cold weather socks, sleep in them all night. It's magnificent. I have the Kiln bottoms and top, which is like my mid-weight layer, super duper warm. And of course, my favorite jacket of all time, the Puffy, the Uncompahgre Puffy. Just leave it stuffed up like this in my pack, and then it's my pillow, it's my jacket, it's my go-to. A lot of times I'll just even bypass this thing and just like pull this out and throw it on. Knocks down the wind a little bit if that's an issue. And then, you know, basic beanie and gloves just in case, but really we're probably looking at lows in the high 40s. It's not going to be a big deal. Moving right along. Hunting-wise, kill kit, very necessary. Listen, I love the Argali game bags. Washable, durable, they're not the cheap cheesecloth kind of things, reusable, and super small and lightweight. But they also come in this handy little stuff sack, which means I used to have like a gallon Ziploc that had game bags and like all my other stuff in it. The whole kill kit's right in here. Inside are 5 game bags, plus the Argali coal knife, which is just friggin' sharp and light and awesome. And my little work sharp sharpener when you have to touch up the blade in the middle of field dressing the thing. But just like stuff those all in, the game bags are folded up, you sit it down, throw it in your pack, done, amazing. Predator call, because you never know. We're going bear hunting. You might just need to get something's attention, or it's been a couple long days without seeing a bear. I don't know, set up somewhere, just start honking on this, see if something comes in. Might as well have it. It weighs nothing. First aid all goes in this, this handy Exo accessory sack, bag, pouch. I don't know what we're calling it, but standard, like, you know, Band-Aids, gauze, stuff like that. Always, always, always have an ace bandage in here. I've carried one of these for years. I think I've had to use it twice, but both times when you like seriously biff it and roll your ankle, or like a knee starts acting up because you're an old man like myself, just so good to have it. It takes up some space, but it has like no weight. What else? There's some Gold Bond, you know, moleskin, Leuco tape, just everything. But all stuffed in this handy semi-waterproof bag. There's a little like clip attachment inside my pack. And then you can just like, something goes wrong, you just unclip this, pull it out, run and deal with the situation. Wipes and TP. I'm a both kind of guy, open for debate. If you're hiking miles and miles every day, the last thing you want is anything but the cleanest of behinds. So grab some very masculine looking flushable baby wipes and you'll be very, very happy. Optics. Sitting inside my marsupial gear bino harness, which I love very, very much. Rangefinder sitting on the side, wind checker. Yes, it's a rifle hunt, but these are bears whose noses are insane. And if you watch Meat Eater, like you should, you just saw him this past season get winded by a bear at 800 yards. So still gonna pay attention to the wind. And Inside, this is something I'm extremely excited about because I just grabbed these today. Here's the quick story. These are my Vortex Diamondbacks. Cheap and expensive, but they're great. They have served me extremely well for 7, 8 years now. I forget, I've had these forever. I've sent them in for repair at least once. But I was scouting and dropping my water just this past week, like I talked about. Like an idiot, knocked over the tripod. These landed right on a rock. The left eyepiece is all messed up. It's a mess. Vortex is obviously going to fix it. They always fix it, but there's no way they're gonna fix it in time for my hunt. So, went to see my buddies at Ross Outdoors, whom I also love. They do everything for my bow. I'll put a link below. If you're in the Phoenix area, you've got to check them out. They're incredible. But they also rent optics. So I thought, these suckers are down. What a great opportunity to finally try what real optics feel like. And so, grabbed the Vortex Razor UHDs in a 10x42. So essentially, I'm going from 8 years behind $200 glass to a $1,500 pair of binoculars. And I'm pretty sure I'm never going to want to give them back, and I'm now going to have a very expensive item on my Christmas list, but I can't wait to spend 4 days looking through those things. License and tag are always right here in the front, because you should have that on you at all times. Everybody knows this. Garmin InReach, I've talked about this before. I have a video on solo hunting where I talk about this little gizmo exactly. This has saved my marriage. I already know there's no cell service back where we're camping. So this is the way to stay in touch with people and let them know you're still alive. All those important things. Trekking poles, naturally. During the hunt, I tend to just keep these in the pack and hike around rifle in hand. Usually I've got my tripod with a camera and I'm doing all the filming stuff. But when things get heavy or you get a critter down and it's now on your back, man, I can't imagine climbing out of a canyon with a bear on my back without a set of trekking poles in hand. And weapons, we're over here, why not? Sidearm, this is, don't worry, everything's safe, we're fine. We are only in black bear country. Black bears, mountain lions, biggest things I'm concerned about here in Arizona. So this is just a Glock 19, 9mm. It doesn't get more boringly reliable and excellent than this gun. Night sights are on it. It needs to be cleaned because it's been in my holster and on my pack and set in the dirt a couple times. So I'll clean it before I go, but sidearm's there. Rifle is ready to go, also safe. But this sucker, whoops. This sucker, not built for the backcountry, but I love it. 300 short mag, Viper 6.5 to 20 by 50. It has a brake on it because I'm not going to lie to you, shooting a 300 short mag is not a pleasant experience. I hated it until I put this brake on, and now it's my favorite rifle. I love it to death. And so even though it weighs like 8 pounds, I'm going to haul it into the backcountry with me because it just flat out shoots very, very well. Because it has a brake, these suckers are always in my pack or on my neck, because shooting without ears with a rifle with a brake is a mistake you will only make one time. So those are with me. All of this stuff, my fancy little butt pad for glassing, sitting around camp, all of that stuff. It's not glamorous. My buddy Josh calls it the dad pad because it happens when you finally hit an age, usually around dadhood, where just sitting right on a cold, sharp rock all morning is no longer fun. Then over here is all the camera gear, which I don't know, probably doesn't apply to a ton of you, but the tripod, which serves both glassing purposes and filming purposes. It's just an Amazon, pretty lightweight, sort of bulky, not the best thing in the world, but it gets the job done. GoPro accessories, whole bunch of batteries, charging situation when you film, or I mean, when you're out there, you have to like keep phones and InReaches charged, but charging becomes that much more of an issue when you're filming your hunts. So little battery bank like everybody has, ND filter, memory cards. This sucker is like the biggest, clunkiest thing that seems unnecessary that I take into the backcountry, but I use it on every single trip. It's a massive solar charger. It's got 3 ports inside of it. I have cables to my phone, my InReach, my battery chargers, my camera. Like, I can charge everything off of this, and because it's Arizona, I can almost always count on sunshine, so it's beautiful. GoPro walks around, it'll be on my head or clipped to the tripod or on this little thing. I just bring options. None of it's too terribly heavy. I mean, it adds up, but it's totally worth it to share the joys of hunting with the world and just have my own memories of what's going on. My main camera I'm looking at right now, so you can't see it, but it's there. all of this stuff that we have talked about is going in my very favorite Exo Mountain Gear K3 4800. I have taken a couple of, not even overnight trips, but just like I hauled water in this thing and I've been training with this thing and I love it. It's the, I've hiked with the K2 3500 for the last 3 years, I think. I've loved that pack as well, but I am excited to have a little extra room because for a trip about this long, 3 nights, 4 days, sometimes stretch it to 5 days. I mean, that 3500 is just stuffed to the brim. And so having a little extra space is going to be awesome. Some more adjustability in the frame. I can't speak highly enough about this pack and can't wait to hopefully put a bear in it and see how it feels under a real load. And I'm also using their rifle carrier because it doesn't matter what pack I've carried. I have never in my life found a way to have my pack on and then sling the rifle over my shoulder on the sling and have it be anything except the most annoying thing in the world for any distance of a hike. So I'm a big believer now in just mounting it to the pack. This sucker is designed where it's real quick, you know, unclip a couple of straps up the side, pull the rifle out, you're ready to go. It can be done with the pack on your back, especially if you have a buddy to help you, like I will. But it's just so much better to just make it part of the whole apparatus and not have this big, heavy, clunky thing that's just in the way of everything and being a big hassle. So that is my entire spring backcountry bear kit, and I am beyond pumped. Can't wait to bring you the film of whatever happens. The grass is growing in, things are looking good, so it should be an eventful trip. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on specific pieces of gear, comment below. I would be happy to answer. Please just do me a favor if you haven't already, subscribe. If you want to see a backcountry hunt I did very recently, it's right over there. And if you want to know more about the Exo and how to actually pack the thing properly, I am about to shoot that video and it will be available here in the very near future. Hopefully you're already seeing it right here, depending on when in time you are watching this. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time.